Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Surrey Board of Trade's Networking at Noon, hosted by Rogers Communications Canada. Thank you so much for your sponsorship today. I'm Anita Huberman. I'm CEO of the Surrey Board of Trade, and we're here this afternoon to digitally make connections with each other because networking still needs to happen even during the pandemic. And I just wanted to let you know that in addition to networking, you're here to learn about your sponsor, Rogers, and how they can support you, our business community in Surrey and in British Columbia, with a variety of solutions to serve your needs, especially during the pandemic. It's called Digital Innovation, everyone. And we do need to think about different ways and solutions and pathways to ensure that we are connecting efficiently and effectively with our customers. The Surrey Board of Trade acknowledges that we are on the land of the Coast Salish peoples, specifically the Kwantlen, Katzie, Semiahmoo, and Tawasin First Nations. The Surrey Board of Trade is Surrey's city building business organization where we support business and bring business into the city. We offer a variety of member benefits related to saving you time and money, related to being your concierge of connections, and instigating change at the different levels of government. Our Business and International Trade Center, sponsored by the law firm of Fasken, Business Development Bank of Canada, and the Chambers of Commerce Group Insurance Plan represented by SNF Benefits, is also there to support you during the startup phase of your business and also during the phases that you need assistance with. If you need global business connections, we're there to ensure we're your conduit for international trade. So ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to let you know that we are the only business organization with a pandemic rapid response business center in partnership with the BC government. We have been alive and thriving in terms of supporting not only our members, but the business community in Surrey and in the region by ensuring that they have the connections to the right government supports, whether it's provincial or federal. I wanted to let you know that we're part of and led the Surrey Economic Recovery Coalition to ensure that we meet with the City of Surrey initially on a weekly basis and now on a monthly basis to ensure we are identifying gaps and opportunities related to the pandemic. I wanted to also remind you that we are in the second wave of the virus, and we all need to get serious about adhering to health and safety protocols. And I only say this at this time because we want to make sure that we do not have another economic shutdown. The Surrey Board of Trade is being very serious about communicating consistent messaging relating to adhering to health and safety protocols with a unique collaboration with Fraser Health, especially as we've seen an increase in virus cases in the Fraser Health region, and that includes in Surrey. We're saying these things because we want to take care of you. We want to ensure that you're able to continue doing your business, and hopefully one day we can network in person. But right now, we're going to network digitally. But first, I wanted to ensure that you heard from our sponsor. Rogers for Business is an innovator and leader in delivering communication services and information technology solutions to Canadian businesses of all sizes. I wanted to let you know that Rogers is involved in Canada's business community. The Surrey Board of Trade, we're in the top 10 largest business organizations, largest chambers of commerce, boards of trades in our country. And Rogers is involved all across our good nation. And what they do is they provide wireless and internet and other technology services, like solutions around business collaboration, data centers, cloud computing. And to tell you more, please help me welcome Rick Sellers, the president of the British Columbia region for Rogers Communications. Rick, over to
Great.
you.
Thank you so much, Anita, and good afternoon, everybody. I wish we could be there with you in person, but I think we'll have to do it virtually, at least for the next foreseeable future. I'd first like to start with thanking the Surrey Board of Trade for hosting today's event. Rogers is a proud member of the Surrey Board of Trade and share that vision of helping local businesses thrive and actively contribute to the growth of the BC economy. Over the past 7 months throughout the pandemic, we've been guided by two priorities. One is ensuring we keep our employees safe, and the second is to keep our customers connected. Across our organizations, despite the pandemic, we've made significant strides to support BC's economic development. Rogers is Canada's first G network, and we're actually live now in over 50 communities in BC alone and 130 across Canada. So a very exciting time for us, and that includes right here in Surrey. With our 5G network, we're also able to support local researchers, developers, and startups in building innovative solutions through our partnership with the University of British Columbia. Many of these projects are focused on improving our local communities, including public safety, smart transportation, and emergency response. Rogers employs more than 1,700 employees in British Columbia, and we're actually adding another 350 jobs that will be created for a new solution center that we just opened in Kelowna. And actually, we opened that about 3 weeks ago. And this is going to help us increase our ability to serve our customers locally. Many of our employees are based across the Lower Mainland, including right here in Surrey. So we want to be sure that we're supporting the local communities and also its businesses. We've invested over $1 million in grants and funding for youth and local communities to support education and business development. As an example, the Ted Rogers Scholarship Fund, we've awarded 33 scholarships to students in BC, with more than 500,000 in scholarships that have been awarded to 116 BC students since 2007. We at Rogers continue for those in need during the pandemic, from phones and voice and data plans for women in shelters in BC, including the progressive intercultural communicate. Sorry, it's a big word. Progressive Intercultural Community Services Society in Surrey, to trucks filled with food for more than 63,000 British Columbians delivered to the Greater Food Bank and also the Okanagan Food Bank. Rogers is committing to finding ways to help provide an essential digital lifeline and critical support for British Columbians who need it the most. At Rogers, we work closely with our customers to offer the most innovative solutions with the most reliable network connectivity. Our goal is to act as a technology partner and support businesses to build a highly efficient and robust technology roadmap that works for their people, whether it's in the office or remotely. With that, I would like to introduce Simon, who's our Senior Solutions Manager at BC, to tell you more about our services. Thanks very much.
Hopefully you can hear me. I just unmuted. Hi, everybody. I'm going to start my stopwatch here because I'm known for going on a bit. So 5 minutes starting from now. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about probably what's our best kept secret out west here in Vancouver. We're not just a wireless company. We have other business services, enterprise grade, that we sell to customers, and we have been selling for upwards of 20 years in Western Canada. And these solutions are national in scope, but also there's some very BC-centric solutions that we've sold to customers here. Obviously, we have our largest 5G network, which you're probably hearing a lot about. But we have a whole smorgasbord of other services that we've been delivering. I'm going to just take a little bit of time to explain them, 4 minutes to be exact. On the left, the wireless network, very familiar with. One of the things I like to tell people is that we wholly own and manage this wireless network. We don't share the infrastructure at all. It's completely Canadian owned by the Rogers family, and that's east to west coast, 100% us. The other pieces here are the ones that I just don't think a lot of people know us for and understand that we can bring to bear in Vancouver and the Lower Mainland, obviously. Wireline services, the traditional services that you're able to get from carriers, SD-WAN, MPLS, Layer 2, SIP trunking. In fact, we're the largest SIP trunking provider in Canada. by customers. We actually service the federal government for SIP trunking. So a lot of wireline services that we can bring to bear in Lower Mainland and in BC. Data center and cloud is one that's you know, a lot of our customers are completely unfamiliar with that Rogers has. We have over 15 data centers in Canada, and these are tier 3, tier 2 certified data centers. For people that are unfamiliar with that certification, governments and banks like to be put into tier 3 data centers. The uptime protection for them is extremely good. You're looking at about 10 minutes in an entire year in that type of a data center, so extremely robust. But we also have traditional cloud services like VPC, data center protection, so backing up and keeping you going if your personal data center drops off the internet. Voice and collaboration, we're talking today on Zoom, but there are other collaboration suites out there. Teams is doing especially well for Microsoft, and we're the largest Office 365 cloud service provider in Canada. We've now signed up with them to enable Teams for Voice. The only component missing from Teams was that full integration into the PSTN. Very nice to be able to dial a telephone number right from your desktop and connect to somebody on any phone anywhere in the world. We've enabled that in a way that can be rolled out across the country in Canada. And it's actually something I'm going to talk about in the next slide. And Internet of Things. This is something near and dear to my heart. It's basically everything that can connect via a wireless network. Most people will think of it as sort of GPS tracking of vehicles or assets, but there's also smart city things running intersections, traffic monitoring, pedestrian counting, those sort of things. Any way you can put a sensor remotely and wirelessly and monitor things is the Internet of Things. It's usually powered by our network, and it's definitely going to be enhanced by our 5G infrastructure. So that's a quick overview. I have 30 seconds left. One more slide. This is just going into a bit more depth in this new solution for Microsoft Teams. As I described it earlier, it's the ability to enable you to communicate, receive calls from regular telephones and replace essentially a PBX at a office location. So, you know, there's old Nortel and Avaya systems that you've had for a long time on your desk with the plastic phones, being able to move away from that and into a fully cloud PBX and run, make phone calls right from your desktop or your cellular device through a Canadian carrier. And that's the important piece is it's all your phone calls are routed with good call quality inside of Canada. And I think that's 5 minutes. So I'm going to leave it at that. I think I'm handing over to somebody right now.
Thank you so much, Rick and Simon. I really appreciate your support of the Surrey Board of Trade. And thank you so much for your sponsorship of today's Networking at Noon. So everyone, let's get right to it. We're going to take off the slideshow in the digital Zoom environment, and we're going to bring all of you on screen together. We're not going to do a breakout room session today. We're going to do it all together. I've asked you in the chat function to please indicate your name, your phone number and email, and you can cut and paste all of that information as we go through the session, because we have until 1:00 p.m. with you today. So what I want you to do, first of all, for your first networking exercise is you can do this digitally if you wish, through notes on your screen, or you can get a pen and a piece of paper out. Because what we're going to do is, in about 45 seconds, each of us is going to indicate who we are, your first name, your last name, your company name, and who you want to connect with. What is it that you do in your business? And you can do all of that in 45 seconds. So again, your name, your company, what you do, and 2 industries that you want to connect with. And remember, if you don't see someone that you want to connect with in this networking environment, remember that all of us have connections. So everyone put your videos on so we can see all of you, because that's what networking is all about in a digital environment. And so remember to write everyone's name down, to write who it is that they want to connect with, and remember after the session to follow up with that person, because we all need to support each other during this pandemic to ensure our success. So I'm going to go around the room, the digital room here, and I'm going to ask you to go in turn. So remember, 45 seconds. So Shani, we're going to begin with you. Welcome.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shani Sidhu with Rogers. I kind of I'm a specialist that kind of manages sales, service, and delivery of kind of all things telephony for customers in British Columbia. So really want to connect with anyone who's having any, wants to take a look at what they're doing for their telephony. And like Simon talked about, their cloud solutions. Maybe you've got Office 365 now, or you got your work from home, and you're like, how do I put this all together, and how do I do it for a relatively cost-effective ROI? So definitely looking to connect with anyone in that space who's looking to take a look at their solutions and see what they can do better.
Thank you so much. Ashok.
Hi, my name is Ashok Jumani. My company's name is World Financial Group. I recruit financial advisors, means I recruit individuals who do not have any information about finance and convert them into financial advisors. They are looking at minimum 60,000 guaranteed income after the training is done. If anybody is interested, they can contact me on 778-837-1542. This is a part-time opportunity, so you can keep your full-time, whatever activity you are doing, and make a 60,000 extra in your pocket. Thank you.
Thank you. Christian.
Hi there. My name is Christian Newman. I'm the senior client partner here at Rise Digital. I'm also a Rogers alumni, so very happy to see them hosting this event. It's a pleasure to see some former colleagues here. I'm interested in meeting with any small or medium-sized businesses that are interested in increasing their employee engagement, productivity, or performance. I help them do so with solutions from Google Workspace, which is similar in some ways to Microsoft Office 365, which we heard about just a second ago, but also has some unique aspects to it as well that have been very meaningful for some of my clients and other businesses around the world. So I put my contact information in the chat, including my website, which is risedigital.tech. You can learn more there, and I'd be happy to connect with any of you afterwards.
Thank you so much, Christian. And he's my new LinkedIn friend. So thank you so much for connecting with me. Diane Colma, over to you.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Diane. I'm currently working with Canadian Council on rehabilitation and work. So we work with the government and we tie up with businesses to deliver free supports in diversity workshops, trainings, and recruitment. And we're based here in Surrey. And I'm most interested in connecting with Rick because he mentioned that there would be like 350 jobs about to open, and we believe that we can support that endeavor. At the same time, I'm looking forward to meet Linda as well. I believe she works here in Surrey as well, and as well as Christian, right, Newman. So hopefully would be all connected after this session, and we'll chat on LinkedIn. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Doug Tennant.
Hi, everyone. Doug Tennant, the CEO of Unity, which is a partnership of 3 not-for-profit organizations that support people with disabilities and also builds affordable rental housing and apartments. And so, Diane, you're one person I would like to talk to as well. I should add, I'm also the chair of the Surrey Board of Trade. So happy to be here and happy to see all the members here. And thanks for supporting the Surrey Board of Trade. So yeah, one group of people that I do have an interest in talking with is land developers. I'm always interested in learning more as we proceed with our next housing project, which is a 91 home apartment being built in South Surrey at around 20th and 151A. And also, when it comes to employment, we strongly believe and support people with disabilities to be employed in a whole variety of different areas. So thanks again for everyone, and nice to see you all.
Thank you. Alana Orel.
Hi, I'm Alana Orel. I work with MNP in their insolvency department. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee, which is the only professional licensed by the federal government to help people with their debt. So we help people with their tax debt, all kinds of debt, ICBC debt. Yeah, so I want to connect really with anybody who is listening or supporting friends or family that are coworkers that are going through some financial difficulties. There's lots of people right now that are finding these times challenging financially. And so you want to reach out to me. I can meet with your contacts. We do offer a free initial consultation. We want people to get good information and know what their options are for dealing with their debt.
Thank you. Stacy.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Nice to see everyone. Sorry, it's good afternoon now. So I'm here, I newly incorporated my company last week. So I am going to specialize in communications consulting. So if your business is looking for any kind of audit of internal and external communication processes, I would be the person to come to. I'm also very, very new to this process. So I'm also looking for anybody with any advice for newly incorporated small businesses. I'm a tiny, tiny business, but I finally turned my passion for writing into an official thing. So I'm very excited about that. Communication is such a vital thing, especially in today's world, as Anita have mentioned. The way we talk to each other, the way we write to our employees, to our partners, to everyone has changed significantly. So making sure that there's an onus and understanding how it's changed and how that's impacted the business financially is a very important thing. So whether it's advice about internal communications and small things like memos, or how you stand in terms of media relations and PR, let me know and we can figure something out. As well as I mentioned, if you have any advice for somebody who has just started on the business side of things, I'd be more than happy and grateful to hear from you. So thanks again, everyone. And I look forward to connecting. And Christian, thank you for the invite. I'm grateful to accept it as well.
Thank you, Stacy. Steve Cornwall, you're next.
All right, thanks. Thanks for that. So like my peer, Shani, I am a communications consultant, a territory account manager with Rogers. I'm looking to meet with small, medium-sized businesses, primarily companies right now affected with the COVID crisis, helping look for some efficiencies and move some of their operations and unify some communications, help their workforce move from the office to their remote working environments and business continuity. And at the same time, working with companies that may have fleets. There's some new mandates coming in as far as logging, moving away from paper logs within Canada to align with the US to have electronic logs. And it's a new requirement, and I work a lot with companies with fleets to help them navigate through this. Thank you.
Thank you. Sasha.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sasha Ramnarine, a business lawyer with Remedios & Company. I'm also a board of director with the Surrey Board of Trade. So thank you all for being here and supporting the Surrey Board of Trade. As a business lawyer, I work with a lot of new companies and existing companies who are looking, as presently right now, restructuring their corporation, doing contracts, and also doing some wills and estates, planning for the future generations, etc. So the two industries or individuals that I'm looking to connect with are accountants. Right now, I've been working a lot with accountants, restructuring companies, doing tax planning, etc. for respective companies. And secondly is financial advisors, anyone who is doing a financial plan for families and individuals and professionals, and doing a will, power of attorney, or any other estate documents that are needed, and in addition to anything else. So we just recently opened an office in Surrey, and we're looking forward to serving our clients across the region, as we also have an office in Vancouver and Richmond. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sasha. Greg Muirhead.
Hello, my name is Greg Muirhead, and I'm with Ashar Communications. We are a small telecommunications company that we work with office systems such as voice over IP telephone systems, as well as cell phone plans. We work with small companies and medium-sized companies to help integrate the communications within the company so that you never miss those phone calls. So again, my name is Greg Muirhead. Company is Ashar Communications. My phone number is 604-351-2920. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Linda Stromberg.
Thank you, Anita. Hi, everyone. My name is Linda Stromberg. I'm with the Surrey Community Foundation. I sit on the board. We are a working board, and as such, my job is primarily on the communication side. I work with the social media and the website. We have an initiative going on at the moment. We're building a directory for nonprofits and charities in Surrey. It's intended to be a resource for individual and corporate philanthropists to go to find what charities or nonprofits they might wish to support and learn about the work that they do. So I would love it if people can connect me with charities and nonprofits in our community that I may not already have on my list. I know there are hundreds that serve our community in many capacities. Diane, looking forward to chatting with you, and Doug, of course, always interested in the work of Unity. Thank you.
Thank you. Joey Kenward.
Thanks, Anita. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joey Kenward. I'm happy to see a lot of my fellow Rogers colleagues on this call today, even if I haven't met any of them in person until today. I'm from the broadcast and media side of things from our Rogers family, whether it's radio, television, or digital. I've been a broadcaster in the market for coming up on 17 years now, but I'm an account manager for all of our media properties here in the Lower Mainland. So whether that means advertising on our radio stations, on our television stations, or on more than 200 English-speaking rights holders to websites across Canada. Certainly would love to be able to connect with any businesses affiliated with the Board of Trade if they're looking to get their message out, either on digital platforms or traditional media. Great to be here.
Thanks, Joey. Patrick Von Pander.
Thank you so much, Anita. I'm going to just throw up a little screen share here for everyone's benefit. I'm the general manager for a venture capital-backed mergers and acquisitions firm that's very focused on technology talent that implements technologies either in the digital marketing space or in the CRM, ERP operating software space. And I really want to focus on PM61 and Progress Tech, which are specialized teams that implement and custom design and support either Salesforce, Microsoft Dynamics 365, or Zoho CRM ERP solutions. One team just for small, medium business, 5 to 200 employees, and the other ones for enterprise clients. And then we've got a SAMI team, which is building a platform, an AI-powered marketing automation platform that's going to be specifically focused for hotels and airlines to recover from the pandemic. So I'm very much interested in connecting with Rick and his entire team at Rogers to see and explore how we can collaborate.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Our next person is Ilya.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ilya. My company name is Innovator, and we help companies to get more business through internet since 2001. We work with some really big organizations such as Chamber of Commerce and political parties and universities, as well as with countless small businesses and medium businesses and self-employed individuals, getting them helping them with their websites and also getting them on top of search results, both sponsored and offline. Lately, we've been working with a number of charities and nonprofits, helping them to get a special grant from Google for up to $10,000 a month to advertise on Google. So I'm looking to connect with other charities and nonprofits, so people who work with charities and nonprofits, so they can take a full advantage of that $10,000 a month available from Google.
Thank you very much. Anil.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Anita. Thanks for the amazing Zoom, and hello to all my fellow Surrey Board of Trade members. My name is Anil Ramchurita. I'm based here in Delta. And I'm the PR and sales and marketing manager for Juice Mobile, Mr. Orange. So basically, you're probably wondering what that is. So here's what we're doing. We're doing a Canada-wide program. We're gonna have trucks on the road going to schools, homes, businesses, factories. We're gonna be serving freshly squeezed orange juice right in front of people where they can actually make the orange juice themselves right from oranges. And we don't touch the fruit, they do, but it's pure. And the reason we're doing this is to accomplish two things. One, we want to provide thousands of more jobs to the Canadian family. And also, we want to also help people who want to migrate to Canada and have their permanent resident status to have a turnkey mobile business that they can work from home with their families, generate more income, contribute to the economy, improve health for people. So we're addressing a lot of things right now with this project, and our goal is to put 10,000 trucks on the road throughout Canada, following the Peloton model. So two groups of people I'd like to connect with is one, people who know someone who would like to own a franchise and operate. We want to launch 100 here in Vancouver to start. This is our base. And anyone you know that would like to have their permanent resident status for Canada that would like a turnkey business. And of course, I'd like to talk to the folks at Rogers, if Rogers would like to participate in this, because we're doing this from a federal, provincial, and local level, and we'll be going to all the governmental offices to notify all the MLAs and MPs what we want, and so they can support and assist us. So again, this is Anil with Juice Mobile, Mr. Orange, and we're excited about our project. So thank you.
Thank you so much. iHub.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ihab Kamel, and I'm the SMB sales manager out of here in BC. So I have a team of sales consultants who report directly to me. And really what I'm looking to talk to, or who I'm looking to talk to, is really everyone and anyone. I mean, all industries, all customers, all organizations are using our products and our solutions, either from Rogers or a different provider. So if you know anyone, or you yourself want to get a professional consultation with someone from Rogers, I'd be more than happy to facilitate that. I pride on myself on having an absolutely outstanding team here in BC. They're super tenured. They know their stuff. They're really one of the best. And if you know anyone, or you yourself want to speak to a Rogers representative and really get a good understanding of how we can help you in your business, I have my contact information in the chat. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I'll make sure you're talking to someone who can assist you, or a friend or a colleague or a family member. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ehab. And I also wanted to recognize that some of my colleagues are on the digital call as well. Indra Bond, John Lim, Heather Booth, Rona Doria, and they're part of the Pandemic Rapid Response Business Center. This session is being recorded, and so that they can also get in touch with you in terms of the industry connections that you need. But I wanted to go into my second and final question in my second round with all of you is because the networking is also about learning about how we're working during this pandemic. Any tips that you can provide to each other? What challenges are you facing? What's been working for you in terms of meeting your goals? Any advice? So Simon, we're going to begin with you actually.
Hi guys. Yeah, being stuck in four walls for 9 months. How did I get around that? It's challenging. I work with a team of technical consultants. So I think what I've learned is that video and sort of more than you would have before, but sort of frequent meetings with your team just to check in, and they don't always need to be about business. It's challenging for everybody during these times, and it's nice to just have a group chat and personal time with people. You get that in the office. You know, you're walking around the office and you're just chatting via the water cooler, but you don't get that anymore. So having that personal touch, sort of bit of what would you call it? Sanity time is good during COVID, and it's definitely helped me with working with my team remotely. That's what my tip would be.
Thank you. Shani?
Yeah, I mean, moving to this type of a format with COVID, yeah, one of the things that, we in my role was being able to, press the flesh, meet people face to face, sit down for a coffee or lunch, and we just can't do that anymore. And we've moved to these formats. So I'd advise everyone, even for someone like myself who's in technology, who was really afraid about not being able to see people face to face, have really embraced, not to plug Microsoft, but there's technology out there that allows us to do everything from home that we were able to do from the office or anywhere else. So really embrace that. If you were kind of shy or didn't embrace what you could do with video, or I remember hearing about Zoom, years ago, but never even took a look at it. There's so much you can do and so much productivity you can take advantage of from whether it's your phone or whether it's your home computer. Don't be afraid to do that, and because you can definitely still get your work done, and hopefully one day this will all pass and we can all get together again, and I think we'll all be more productive for it.
Ashok?
Hi, my opinion is little different. I see that any situation that comes in front of you, if you look at it as a problem, it will become a problem. If you look at it as a solution, it will become a solution. So this particular situation I'm looking at as a solution, because it has helped us embrace the new technology of doing everything on Zoom and talk to people without losing time in driving all the way to meet that person. Now, instantaneously, today, if I want to meet somebody in Calgary, it takes only 2 minutes to connect him with the Calgary. Somebody in Ontario, I can do it in Ontario. My business is increasing by leaps and bounds because now I'm able to connect more number of people. And yes, old way of meeting face-to-face cannot be ruled out. It is definitely a plus point. But instead of crying over a situation on which we have no control, let us look into this positively and make everything work better for us.
Good advice. Thank you, Ashok. Christian?
So Ashok already took my response there. I totally agree with him. It's amazing how, previous to this experience, we had so many barriers that stood in the way of actually truly connecting with others. And now I'm able to connect with more people in a single day because I do it all sitting in front of my computer. And while that's, it doesn't provide that sort of personal touch that a face-to-face connection does, it really makes me a lot more efficient. And I can collaborate on documents and see other people working alongside me right in that document at the same time. I don't have to wait to schedule a meeting room or make a trip downtown or anything like that. So, just embracing the world that we're in and making the best of it is really great. And if I could just add one more little tip that I found made a huge difference for me, when we're on video calls like this, the tendency is to mute ourselves when we're not talking. But a while back at the beginning of this experience, somebody told me, you know what, leave that mute button off. Unless you're in a noisy environment or something, leave it off, because then you'll get those nonverbal cues, the little chuckles, the mm-hms, the various different types of nonverbal communication that we're used to in person can all of a sudden come through in this new environment as well. So that would be my second piece of advice.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Diane?
Hi, sorry, I had to unmute. Yeah, so I think the main takeaway here is the connection. So by being proactive in the community and making sure that you are well connected with industries like the Surrey Board of Trade. And second would be having continuous education and awareness of what's really happening in the community. I think a lot of employers nowadays, they don't have really a sense of what is happening. Maybe some have, but I believe that some others needs that type of education and awareness. So if we continue to connect with one another, then I think we should be able to beat this, 2020 COVID year.
Doug?
Thanks, Anita. So one of the main things that we learned and tried to practice was the importance of making decisions. So pre-COVID decisions that would take a month we needed to make those decisions in less than a day. And so we had to set up structures with our crisis response team where we were meeting every day, every morning for the first 3 or 4 months of COVID, and where we would make decisions. And sometimes it was the wrong decision, but the point was you had to make a decision. And so that was sort of number one. And then number two would be, with our staff members who support people with disabilities and put themselves somewhat in harm's way in the way that teachers and health workers do, they don't want to show fear or worry, even though they have that. So it's really important for team leaders and leadership and supervisors to ensure when they check in with their staff members that they actually go that extra step and talk about how they're doing and how they're feeling, and not just about work. And our staff members have appreciated that, the ability to be able to express themselves, their fears and their worries.
Thank you. Alana.
Hi, kind of similar to what Doug was just saying. What I'm experiencing quite a bit in my interactions with people is a tendency to want to put everything on pause right now and not want to make decisions. People feel like they're kind of in this limbo world. We're just sort of all hanging out waiting for this pandemic to resolve. And I see a hesitancy to make decisions. And I think with what I do in helping people with their financial troubles, sort of the sooner you start and the sooner you get going on something, the sooner it'll be over and behind you and you can move forward in a fresh new way. So I guess that's sort of what I've seen, and what I'm encouraging people just in my everyday interactions is just let's not let's not put our lives on hold right now. Let's take the pause button off and let's continue to live, continue to make decisions, and move forward.
Yes, let's continue to live. I like that. Stacy.
Such great points, everyone, and great question, Anita. I think to add to what everyone is saying, embrace the new and embrace the flexibility that you now have, right? We can squeeze so many more things into our day. As Ashok mentioned, now you don't have to make that drive downtown for a client meeting. You have it from home. Of course, with that, there's also the idea that the separation between work and home has sort of been a little bit sketchy. But with all of that, taking the time for yourself and to assess how you're doing and feeling is also something that's very vital. So in days when it's challenging, right, take the time to check in with yourself, and kind of self-care, I think, is something that sort of falls through the cracks as we're trying to adapt and learn and also continue to function. So be gentle, be nice, do that nice thing for yourself every day if you can. It doesn't take too long, but it's important because a lot of the times we become the caretakers, the adapters. So self-care falls through the cracks. So yes, if it's a smoothie in the morning and that makes you feel great, fantastic, right?
Steve, Cornwall.
Yeah, so I'm going to mimic what most of the people have said here. I mean, when this early stages of this, there's obviously there's some anxiety that comes into play, and being a relationship guy myself, and like to being in front of my customers and my coworkers and my peers, how are we going to adapt, right? And I think we learned really quickly that having the right tools, it allowed us to meet face to face with our clients. We found very early on that we would take pauses and just check in with one another, just say, work aside, how are you feeling? How often did we do that before COVID? Probably not enough, right? But I found that through this, it put a new meaning on relationship building. It's not uncommon now in a team meeting or with a client to see their kids run in the room or have their dogs jump on their lap. And what it really put into perspective is, it's not the environment it's in. It's if you have the right talent working for you, if you have the right technology, and you're focusing on the well-being of your staff and each other, you can adapt.
Thank you. Sasha.
So some amazing advice so far. So in addition to what has been said already, is what I've noticed is taking time for yourself, whatever that means for you. For me, it's going for walks, spending time with family. I do a lot of meditation, at least an hour a day, just quieting the mind and just taking it easy, because there's so much information, so much of what's going out there in the news and this and that, and it just can cause a lot of stress. So just taking the time to kind of just center yourself, whatever that means for you and whatever best works for you. and just keep going day by day. And in addition to that, is setting, goals and objectives, and just take it easy and just balance yourself, and whatever that means for you.
Linda Stromberg.
Well, I don't know that I have any tips as much as, again, looking at the observations. There's been a lot of positive come out of this as far as forcing us to use these tools that have been around for a while, and thank goodness they have been. It's like someone new. And the other thing is, I find that I'm meeting more people and learning more through this, just because perhaps I wasn't always very good at driving out to a meeting, so it's really easy to get involved, hear it from my home, and meet more people. We're yeah, and I really like all of the positive side of things. I am very concerned about some of the negative, and part of that is those who don't have the technology, very concerned over how can we help them, because it is difficult if you could imagine not having this opportunity to connect with people even virtually. So
very true. Joey Kenward.
I'm going to go off the board a little bit here, and it kind of follows up to what Sasha had just mentioned. But one key, we all, no matter what field we're in, no matter how many meetings we're having a day, it's really important to be able to get either exercise and fresh air. And you think about all that we were doing prior to the world changing in front of us. Most of us were getting up, leaving our homes, driving somewhere, going somewhere, being active. And all of a sudden, and I don't know if I speak just on behalf of myself or maybe a lot of you on this call, how often do we find ourselves sitting in the same chair for hours on end, going through different meetings or going through different activities, and realize I got to get up and move around. And I've just felt that it doesn't have to be anything major, but it just makes such a world of difference when our world has changed, what we have to do now, making sure that we're still finding time to be active and just keep the blood flowing, for lack of a better phrase. I find that just helps my work day go so much better. And I hope everybody's doing that. But if you're not, I would certainly recommend putting that into your day, whether it's the beginning, middle, or end. It's so important to make sure that we're able to be top of our game.
I agree. Yes. Thank you. Ilya.
Can you hear me better now? Apparently there were some issues with voice earlier.
Perfect.
Okay. I do agree with Ashok. I think there is certain advantage of being able to have a meeting in a way more efficiently. It doesn't take time to drive. It doesn't take time to plan. You pretty much just can show up. So I hope once the COVID and the restrictions end, we will have some sort of a hybrid of the best from this current situation and what we had before. I do feel it's also gives us extra time to do other useful things in life, and exercising is a very useful thing that basically just requires some time. If it is part of your schedule, if it is the first thing you do in the morning without having to rush to be in the office or something like that, it can be very easily implemented, and it's easy enough to have some sort of a either exercise space or just use the gravity to do some simple exercise to keep in shape and stay healthy.
Excellent. Good advice. Anil.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for your comments and shares. It's really enhanced my day so far, and I'm taking mental note. For me, a lot of things happened really fast. It's like the atomic bomb was dropped and I had to deal with it. And, with COVID-19 and everything shifting, the world will never be the same. And the thing that's helped me a lot, especially for myself and dealing with clients and family, is being present, being really dialed into my humanity, and picking up the phone and talking to people and seeing how they're doing. Because, sometimes sometimes myself, I can get into the trap of putting on a front that everything is good and everything is perfect. And so it's important for us, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, yeah, we got businesses to run and we got titles and we got responsibilities, but there are people in our own household that needs us and our families and our clients. I asked someone, I picked up the phone to call them about business, and you know what? The conversation ended up being, how are you doing? How's your family? Do you have food in the fridge? Are you able to pay your bills? How's your health? So one thing I wanted to share with all of you is let's focus on being present to ourselves and others, and reach out to those that really, really need us at this time, because there's a lot of people freaking out there and they need us. So thank you.
Very true. Patrick.
Thanks, Anita. So for somebody that for 17, 18 years was attending 3 business networking events a week, 50 weeks a year, you know, it was a bit of a culture shock for sure. But you know what? I've kind of borrowed the tagline from the US Marines. That is, we adapt, we improvise, and we win. And so you make the shift to a different way of operating. And quite frankly, being able to be online just allowed me to trade windshield time for meeting and connecting with even more people. And then of course, layer on top of that, the fact that we are our group of companies is so technology based, and we have such a problem solving culture. It was really a terrific opportunity to lean into that and really help. You know, on the marketing side, so many small, medium businesses needed to shift their passive websites into active e-commerce enabled and you know, order processing, transaction processing based websites, things that could allow them to survive or operate. And for those that have like the operating software systems to just deal with how to be able to get their whole culture shifted into a remote working, you know, work through the cloud kind of culture. And so being part of that has been super rewarding. And so, you know, I just sort of based my energy into that, and I'm grateful that that we could be part of the solution, as many of you are as well in your own way.
E-Hub.
Yeah, I've really, I'm going to say a couple of things. I've just been fascinated about how technology has, ever since this happened, how technology has helped us stay up and running. The heartbeat is going. We're more productive. We really haven't missed a beat. And at Rogers, we obviously have all these tools, resources, technology to allow us to do that every single day. And I'm proud to be working for an organization who has done so very fast. And like I said, we at Rogers have become very productive. And I feel bad and almost definitely want to be speaking to the companies out there who might not have these tools or resources or not aware of them. And this is why this is important for us today, because we can help customers, we can help businesses. We know how to do it. And so I really get excited when we talk to customers every single day and we hear their problems, and we hear how they're, you know, lacking in specific technologies in specific areas. And I get really excited when we have solutions for them that helps them get up, run their business, be productive, and be successful. The other note that I want to say is very consistent with what I've heard today as well, is regarding disconnecting. It is absolutely crucial and important to disconnect. And I did it by going to my hobbies. I'll use fishing as an example because I love fishing, but I go fishing more than I've ever fished before because it's my time to disconnect. I go leave everything behind, and you just need that. And it does absolutely amazing things for me. So whether it's the gym that you like to do, or go for a run or a jog, or sit with your family members, whatever it is, you need to be able to disconnect, because I find it, as much as we have technology that makes us so productive and so in tuned and so online all the time, it's harder to disconnect. Before, you used to just go for a walk in the office or go for lunch or take a colleague and go do something. That doesn't happen anymore. So it's very important to just tell yourself, I need to stop and go out there and do what I love to do, because we're here to also live our lives and not just be workaholics all the time. That's it.
Good advice, even for me. Anil, did I get to you? Okay, excellent. So ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to let you know that again, we are recording this session. And we are going to be sending it out to our very extensive social media network to ensure that everyone understands the connections that you're looking for and also what it is that you do. Thank you so much for joining us today at the Networking at Noon, hosted by the Surrey Board of Trade, sponsored by Rogers Communications. And remember, this Friday at noon is Surrey's Development Industry Forum. Because Surrey is an opportunity city. We're going to be the largest city in British Columbia very soon. And there's going to be just some great networking and information about our great city of Surrey. So go to businessinsurrey.com to register. Thank you so much and make it a great business day.